Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial. We're back with another day in the market. It was a big Monday, a big rebound day. We were kind of down for the past few days. If you take a look at SPY just on the weekly, we had a really good come up day, and it was pretty necessary since the past 2 days we have finished down. You can see the sell-off coming into the end of the day. However, I think we're going to see a lot of this choppy action that you can see here. Again, it's a lot of up, down, up, down. I don't think that's a bad thing. This is good because the market is trading sideways, and that's something that we haven't really seen since we came out of the recession, is the idea that, hey, you're allowed to have a breather moment. And I think that this graph, again, I keep going back and back and back, trying to show that, hey, like, we haven't traded sideways in a while, where in a normal kind of market event, you expect to do so. And again, we kind of going all over the place, but you're not always supposed to go up kind of in this skyrocket type of growth mode. So I don't think that this is bad. And I do want to highlight that it is okay to see kind of some of these gap ups. So the other thing that I want to highlight is, as you can see, we actually essentially had a 55% return on the total portfolio today. However, the account balance or account value is that 2950 mark that you can see right here in the top left-hand corner. So yes, we had a big day. However, the reason we had a big day is because those same options were down on Friday. So I don't want people to get too excited, because again, it's kind of a standard of, well, Zach, that's great, except for the fact that you were down a lot. So all in all, we are considering our steady climb higher. And the way that this was accomplished was, as you can see right here, we had Tesla gapped up today. And I actually didn't catch the bottom of this, but let's go look at the Tesla plays that I was a part of. So as you can see, I've been playing a lot of Tesla lately, and the reason for that is because I was kind of waiting on this big move that happened today, because they've been kind of hovering in this range. They had sold off a lot, and my thought process was that it was battery day next week. So I really wanted to be involved in this and be a part of it. And as you can see, I traded it a lot. And what I was doing is I was creating spreads over and over and over again. So it was a lot of work going on. It was a lot of back and forth. And I was playing the put side as well as the call side, just because they do so many options with a $1 or $2 back and forth. So whereas NVDA, the one I normally play, has a $5 difference. And what I mean by that is I can buy a call for $5.10 and I can sell a call for $5.15. With Tesla, what you can actually do is buy a call for $4.01 and sell one for $4.02. So you can see a lot of that right here. And the big winner here was the 403 call that I bought at the end of the day last week. So what we were looking at doing, so this is all the 911 ones. So if we go back here to 910, it's somewhere in here. We've got the 403 call. I'll just type it in. So I've got the bought one. So we bought it, but really what I was looking at was the sell price for that particular option. And that was the big money maker, was the fact that we were able to go in and we bought a lot of different spreads, but I had one that did really well, and that was the $1,000 profit. So again, happy with that one, but really that's the big move, is it was like $1,000 strictly on Tesla. So what else happened today? Again, the big news that came out yesterday is NVIDIA was buying ARM, which is a huge UK chips dealer. That's going to give them a lot of room to work in the chip making world. I'm also happy to see it going up after hours. I hope that that continues. But I mean, it gapped up at the beginning of the day. Let me make this a day chart. But you can see that it actually went up all the way up to above $530. So what actually happened is I did catch it around the bottom here, is I bought a call, and I bought that call for $535 just because I think this news is underrated, and we have seen NVIDIA above $600 within the past 6 weeks. So I think that this is going to be a good opportunity for them to continue to assert their dominance in a marketplace, which they are incredible at. So I do want to see that. I think they can move a lot. I'd like to see this gap up overnight. As you can see here, we saw that move from 486 all the way up to where they're at today at 520. Anything over 530 is going to be straight profit. I am probably going to trade out of this tomorrow if that occurs. If that moves up, again, this profit will go from essentially right at $100 right now to anywhere between $300 to $400 because NVIDIA is a big mover. And while I'd love to see it go much higher than that, I like my secured profits, and I'd like to see this account around $3,500. So right now we're in a really good spot. The other other play that I made today was the Pfizer one. Again, we've already got those shares. I did purchase 4 calls for October 2nd. Again, that's not too far away, but we had a big uplift, and they were actually up. I was up as much as $22 at one point on those shares, or on the calls when it was up kind of around this time period. But as you can see, it kind of sold off into the end of the day, so I'm not going to count this one out. I still think there's room to run here. Big believer in Pfizer, and I think as news continues to come out and be made available, that will be in a good spot with them as well. So those were 2 of the big movers today that I talked about, that I paid attention to. One other item that I did today is the Oracle TikTok news. I made a play on Facebook, and I bought a Facebook call when that news came out, and they dropped, so it was kind of around the bottom here. And what I did is I bought 3 calls, and as you can see on those calls, what I ended up doing is I sold 2 back. So my trade price here was $37 a share, so I bought 3 of them, and then what I ended up doing is selling back 2 of them. So I was actually paid $132. So my worst case scenario, just to highlight that, my worst case scenario is a $21 profit. What I'd like to do is sell these out tomorrow, or at least sell my 1 call option, because as you can see, it's still got a bit of a profit here. It's currently trading around 46 when I purchased it for 37. And the reason for that is I am very skeptical that Facebook is going to be able to make it to 290. That being said, last time I did not hold Facebook, those same options would have been worth $4,500 less than 24 hours later. So we'll see what the market does tomorrow before I make that decision. This is a play I'm in for free, so I have the capability to make those type of decisions. But again, what I constantly say is make your plays free, because if you can do that, you're going to benefit and you have the flexibility to make those changes. I would also highlight that don't be afraid to hold on your plays. I had a lot more exposure than I normally do on Tesla, which is why I didn't hold that. But if I had, then I would have netted another $500. So what am I looking at on a go forward basis in terms of some of the plays for later this week? Again, we've got the FOMC meeting starting tomorrow that we talked about yesterday on our economic indicators list. And we've also got the Fed rate decision on Wednesday. I don't think there's going to be anything surprising, but further announcements saying, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, this is what you can expect, should calm the markets. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go up, but we shouldn't see these huge swings is what I'm hopeful that will do for the remainder of the week. But again, you got to remember, everyone, September is historically a bad month for stocks, so expect that. But the plays I'm going to be watching tomorrow include some of the banking stocks, because the banks traded sideways, as you can see here, and some of that has to do with the fact that there is going to be further rate decision announcements. So interested in seeing that, interested in finding out what we're going to follow there. But whenever there's bank news, I do like Bank of America for building up the long-term portfolio, as well as I also, of course, like to see JP Morgan, because that's the big mover of the group. That's what I'm looking forward this week. That's what I did today. If you have any plays, please drop those in the comments below. Thanks. Talk to you later.